The Miami Heat have been extremely up and down this season, and people have already began to count them out. But this one, they're the most dangerous.
Ever since Jimmy Butler joined the team, they have been described as dangerous loomers. And time again, it seems as if they've exceeded expectations.
People are quick to forget that they were one Jimmy Butler miss away from the NBA Finals just last season.
Will they be able to do it again this season, or will they fall flat?
Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Here's a Curry. Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
James is showing history.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So today, finally, the much-awaited Heat video. Let's just get straight into it. So, you want to talk about how we're Heat fans?
So I wanted to give some context about how we feel about the Heat. Obviously, we live in Miami, and even though the Heat are not our favorite team, we do like them. I'm a big fan, and my dad is a big fan, and almost every single friend that we have is a big fan.
But let's just get straight into it. Like I was saying, I think probably the best word to describe them this season is disappointing. You can't really necessarily classify them as a disaster. I don't think it's been like that. But I think there's been a lot of things that have led to this. Just go down the list. You got zero bench production. You got zero depth. I think zero moves, bad contracts, just a bunch of things. And we've kind of seen this evolution throughout the years. We saw this sort of becoming a thing. You know, I think the Heat have been a team the last few seasons that have been really good, really underrated. I think every single year, I think the Heat have been underrated. They've overachieved, you can say, because you look at the team, and something that you always say, they always are able to find these players that are they're like super Heat players. You put Gabe Vincent on another team, and this dude's out of the league. You know what I'm saying? But they fit perfectly with the Heat, and they've been able to find people like that. It's to a point where it's like it's too much at this point. I think it's been too much.
I mean, think about it. Ever since they got Jimmy Butler, that was a great offseason for them. They got Jimmy Butler, they drafted Tyler Hero, Bam took a big jump. But ever since, what move have they made, really? They haven't really done too much. It's been the same team every year. They have done little tweaks. That season, they got Get Crowder.
That was a great move.
That was one of the best mid-season trades for them.
Yeah, for sure.
They ended up getting PJ Tucker a few years after. So that was all great. But this season specifically, in the offseason, they lost Tucker. They were like, okay, whatever. They didn't do anything.
They replaced him with Caleb Martin. No disrespect, but Caleb Martin's a shooting guard. He's always been a shooting guard. It's hard to ask him. I know he's been good. It's hard to ask a 6'5" skinny dude to play power forward.
Yeah, now they ended up getting Kevin Love, and he has been alright. He hasn't played bad, but I feel like that's not the type of player they're used to having on that team.
Yeah, he's not defensive minded. I think that takes away from the defense that was in the starting lineup. It does add shooting and a veteran presence, but yeah, it's not like a PJ Tucker. It's not like a Jay Crowder. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because in the last 4 seasons, they have done as good as any East team because he made it to a finals, they made it to Eastern Conference Finals, but it gets to a point that the lack of talent just show.
It's funny because I think they've been as successful as the Boston Celtics. I think people don't give them credit for that because you look at the Boston Celtics team and you're like, damn. Obviously, I think the Celtics have been a little bit better, but I think a big part of that is the talent, like you were saying, and kind of like what I was saying in the intro. I think the talent matters at the end of the day. I think in the playoffs, at the end of the day, the most important thing when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the mid battle, the most important thing is talent. And we've seen Jimmy Butler be able to step up. We saw him in the finals do that. I told him the other day, and I don't know if this is hyperbole, but to me, since I started watching basketball relatively recently, that's probably the best performance I've ever seen from an individual player.
Jimmy Butler was looking unstoppable.
No, it was crazy. Finals. It was really unstoppable. He was the reason that he were there and making it that far.
And even though he's a great player, he always turns up when it matters. I think that he have just relied on him too much, and you are kind of seeing the frustration in him. I think with Butler, people should start thinking of him as like a Heat lifer who's gonna stay there forever. But I think that he gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Butler's getting up there in age. Obviously, he loves being on that team, but he wants to win at the end of the day. Jimmy Butler is a winner. That's what he cares about. He has made every single team that he has gone to better. But relying on him as the main scorer is I think you're putting too much on his body.
Yeah.
Because that's not even his natural.
It's not. Yeah, he's an all-around player.
Yeah, he's an all-around player. He plays defense. He plays one of the best teams in the NBA. He gets assists. He has gotten better rebounding and stuff like that. And using him as the main scorer all the time, he can't do it in the regular season. That's not who he is. And you shouldn't ask for all this of him at this point of his career.
You have this team with this starting lineup. Kyle Lowry's not a scorer. Bam's not a scorer. Tyler's a scorer. And that goes back to another point that I want to make. You're putting Tyler Hero in your starting lineup, which takes away from the great bench that he had last year. To me, Tyler Hero's a six-man. Can he be a starter for some teams? Absolutely, but not. I don't think he can for this team.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be.
Not as it's presently constructed. I think him coming out the bench is so perfect. Now, that doesn't mean that he's a bum. That doesn't mean that he should play 15 minutes a night. No, he should get starter minutes, should come off the bench, and just score. Put a guy like Max Strus or Duncan Robinson, but unfortunately, they've been super disappointing too, especially Duncan Robinson.
Nah, Duncan Robinson, one of the biggest downfalls from Grace recently.
It's like one of those things. Like if you're not good at something, if you're really really good at something and you can't do that anymore, and they take that away from you, defense is focused on that, then you're nothing out there. If Duncan isn't shooting, he's literally nothing.
Nah, he just is. It's sad to say because even when he was shooting great, he started getting cuts and stuff like that. But it's because they were so worried about his shooting that he could like get by you every now and then. But right now, you look at the bench and Victor Oladipo. The last few games he hasn't played. He has gotten DNPs, and it's disappointing because, he kept in the summer he kept talking about he was, I'm getting back to myself and everything, and he has gotten a lot of injuries, so he's not that guy anymore. And then you have a bench with Caleb Martin, Max Strus, Heinz Smith, which is one of those key players that we're talking about. But you don't really have like a creator of the bench. It becomes a problem.
You have Gabe Vincent, but Gabe Vincent
it's more like a catch and shoot
guy who can just bring up the ball. They really don't have. Yeah, that's the perfect example. They were basically using Victor Oladipo as that. Something else that I think we should talk about is Pat Riley. I think, like you were saying, he got Jimmy Butler and then fell asleep. Like we joke about that, but it's true. This year they really needed a move. They really needed something, and their move was Kevin Love and Cody Zeller.
And they were just there, you know what I'm saying?
They were there. They were bought out. Yeah, it's not like they did some crazy trade. And apparently there was this rumor that they were gonna make a trade. They were gonna send Kyle Lowry to the Clippers. I don't know for what, but Riley was taking a nap.
Oh, that's a joke, but they kept posting it on credible Instagram accounts.
Yeah, and just talking a little bit more about some of the moves that Pat Riley has made. Like his biggest moves have been, if you really think about it, bad. I mean, he signed Kyle Lowry for an insane contract, and yeah, he's playing like garbage now. And you can say hindsight's 2020. Even at that time, we were like, damn, that's a lot for old ass Kyle Lowry. And then Duncan Robinson. I'm not too mad at the Duncan Robinson one because I remember around that time a lot of these shooters. Davis Bertans, for example, he got a very similar contract. Joe Harris got a humongous contract, and it's funny because none of those players have panned out. They've all been disappointing. So, so I'm not mad that they did it. But even then, we were all like, wow, that's still a lot for Duncan Robinson. And at least known for this. Tyler Johnson. Who are some other ones? Like Whiteside.
It's kind of like getting tricked because we're saying, like, you get a player, and that happens a lot, but you get a player off the street, and they're trying their hardest to get a contract. Bam has had the best season of his career so far, especially scoring 20 points per game. Amazing defense. He was an all-star again, which, we're super happy about that. But I think even all of that being said, like there's some games that Bam just be not aggressive, and it's so frustrating because I think Bam can really take that level to just being like one of those like a 24, 25 points per game scorer. That might sound crazy, but he has a skill in him.
A lot of people say it's the defensive load that they put on him, but you see a guy like Anthony Davis though. Anthony Davis, he plays great defense. He still gives you 27 a night. I think if they put better defenders around him, like either a good power forward or finally put him in the power forward role, which I know a lot of Heat fans really want. A lot of our friends are always talking about how they believe that Bam is a power forward. Maybe if they put him in that role, like he can actually play on defense that Giannis or Jared Vanderbilt on the Minnesota Timberwolves, like that roamer, that Robert Williams, that he just roams. He's not in the paint like that, and that can really unlock the Heat and him.
Yeah, because the only thing that's keeping the team afloat a lot of games is the defense. So I understand why Bam and Butler sometimes feel like they got to put more energy on defense, because if they don't, then they're gonna get cooked because they're just not getting those buckets on the other side.
Only really lost PJ Tucker. So going back to that, I think maybe, like always, that's a team that can be scary. I don't know if this might be the year that they're not. I'll say that, but I think you think that they can still be scary, right?
I think they can because recently, obviously, they had that bad loss against the Nets, but they've been winning more games. Butler has looked incredible. Tyler Hero, at the end of the day, he's still 20 points per game scorer. Bam Adebayo, he had 20 points per game scorer this season. And if the players around him start turning up, like Kevin Love is shooting good, Max Strus, Francis Shaw, Caleb Martin, they still have some more players that can still turn up, and in the playoffs, you play a smaller rotation.
Yeah.
So I think the lack of depth is not going to be as bad in the playoffs for them. And at the end of the day, it's just the Miami Heat. Like, there's no better way I can explain it. They have surprised us every single season, except that one season that they got destroyed by the Bucks. Every other season, with Young Butler has been a deep playoff run.
Just the last thing I want to say, I think they have one more chance next year, and after that, I think they might have to like really take a look at this team and maybe even training Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, it will hurt because Young Butler has become such like a key player. But in the past, just quick comment, like I remember seeing, the Heat didn't want to include Tyler Hero in the Donovan Mitchell trade. I said, but you got to decide, do you want to keep your young players or do you want like I was saying, if this season goes wrong, even if it's this season, you gotta start looking at what you're gonna do. You gotta make a move in the off season.
Yeah, for sure. If not,
the same is gonna happen, and then you're gonna be forced to just rebuild with Tyler Hero and Bam. So I think they're gonna stay there forever. Well, for now.
Yeah, for now.
And then Butler might have to go. So yeah.
Now I remember in the 2020 finals, people were like big hating.
Now I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Like quick story to start the video. For us, 2020, for a lot of people, it was like a tough year. So it was cool that our favorite teams went into the finals. But obviously, we're gonna root for LeBron,
Of course.
And then we will meet up to like watch the games with our friends, and it'll be like the Lakers side and the Heat side. Man, that was someone like the funniest.
No, it was bad. We got really mad at each other. I remember this time that the Heat won. I threw a ball at one of my friends and everything. It was horrible. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell. Thank you. Peace out.